Hey everyone, it's me, Tammy from lamascreationsdiy. I'm so happy that you are here and watching. I know it's been a while. I've been quite busy with work and work, but I've thrown together a few crafts for you guys. I believe there's 5 on here, all brand new. Every time I get out there and get something to craft on, I try and record so I can share it with everybody here. I hope everybody enjoys. So let's get on with the video. All right, starting off with some of these 3x6 pieces of wood, I believe, and we're going to use some wood glue. I've got 4 here, and what I'm going to do is just with a paintbrush, I'm going to paint on the glue, stick them, and of course a little bit of hot glue for that fast hold. We're going to stick them lengthwise, side by side, and you're going to do 2 like this. Here I am showing you again, just adding on some wood glue, some hot glue, and sticking them together. Then you're going to glue those together end to end. Again, I'm using wood glue and hot glue. Wood glue is for that strong hold so it doesn't fall apart glue, and the hot glue is for that I want to finish my project now hold. Get it done with. Now, using some tumbling tower blocks, you'll see that some of them are already on there, and that's because I had built it and took it apart and built it and took it apart. But basically, I put tumbling tower blocks all along the back, added 2 to the side, and I put some in the middle there. Now, what I'm doing is, again, with the same combination of glue, I'm going to put a row along the front. And then this is what I did. Now we're going to build it up from there. I basically glued 2 pieces together, and then I would add on top. And this is at the back of this little thing that I'm making. Now, because some of those pieces weren't long enough and I had gaps in there, what I did is, I'll show you in a couple seconds, is I would use little pieces of scrap wood just to fill it in. See, this one here was a square dowel. I just measured off for how much I needed, chopped it down, and then I would add glue to the sides and slide it in where it needed to go. And I did the same thing on, you'll see there's a little hole there on the right hand side, there's like a little space there. I did the same there too. Just fill it all in properly. That's the word I was looking for. And this is what it looks like so far. Next, what I'm going to do is, using Turkish tile, we're going to, I'm not painting the entire thing, kind of just painting edges that will show, because when we're done, or after we're done painting and the paint dries, we're going to add some material on the inside to give it a little extra something. And this is the material I'm using. First, I'm going to take the edge and give it a hem, because I didn't like that jagged look. Then, taking the other end, doing another hem. Apparently, you needed to see that part too. Oh, I did that fast. I'm sorry, I must have missed something. Anyways, what I did is I cut it all out, and then I glued it all inside, and that's how it turned out. You're just going to glue all the fabric onto the inside and around, and I painted anywhere that the wood was showing, so it would all match all around. This here is some sticky felt, nice soft felt. What I'm going to do is line it up on the bottom, trace out what I need, and we're just going to peel back the backing, and I also add a little hot glue to make sure it stays, and we're going to hot glue and glue it down onto the bottom of this little container, little tray. And for the last piece, I just piece 2 together, just like so, and on the edges I would use hot glue just to give it a little extra hold. And this is what it looks like. What it's for is, at my work, I'm going to store all my pens and markers and pencils and scissors, basically like I'm showing you here. In the little spot at the front, it's going to hold paper clips and erasers and any other things that I need at work. And apparently it's going to take me a little while to show you how to do it. And here it is on my desk at work, all filled up and ready to go. I've got notepads in the middle one, my scissors, markers, pens, everything I need, all in one spot. Next video. This here is a round that I picked up at the dollar store, Dollarama. It was $2 for it. What I did is I sanded off the paper on the front, and I'm going to paint it with Adirondack white. This here piece is, my son had a globe and it broke, and that piece held the two sides of the globe together, so I kept it because I figured I could use it. Now, using this fabric, I'm going to, about an inch away from this, I'm going to draw a circle all the way around. And then, of course, we're going to cut it out. Snip, snip. Snip, snip, snip. There we go. Taking that little black round circle thing, I'm going to add some glue to the side of it. And we're going to glue all the way around, the material all the way up onto the side. And then after the glue has dried in another spot, I will take the edges that are sticking up and glue it around onto the inside of that black little round. Easy peasy. You can use anything. You can use a hoop of some sort or an embroidery hoop. That's what I was thinking. Then to finish off that little edge, I'm taking some jute twine. I have words. I should use them. And I'm going to glue it all the way around just to hide where all the little bunching and stuff is and to give it a nice little finish touch. We're going to cut off any extra sticking out to clean it all up so it looks nice on the back. This little round that we painted with the Adirondack white, we're going to use this yellow checked fabric, and we are going to basically do the exact same thing. Draw a circle around it that's about an inch away and glue it on just like we did the other one. Taking 2 pipe cleaners, or some called them Chanel stems, we're going to take them together, put them together, twist the ends so that they stay. And then what I'm doing is I'm just going to round them out, put it together like so, and twist those ends. And what these are going to be ears. And I make 2 of them. Using the same fabric that we used on the big black circle thingy, we're going to cover these as well. And all I do is I twist the ends of the pipe cleaner onto itself, lay it onto the fabric. I'm going to add hot glue to the top side of it or the underside of it, whichever way you want to call that. You lay it down onto the fabric, cut around just like you did with the round circles, and then you're going to fold it over and glue it onto itself. And you do that with both of the ears. Just like so, adding some glue and folding it up onto itself. And then I also go around and fold it on into the edge and glue it as well. Apparently you need to see how to glue and take glue off your fingers. Now it's time to put it all together. That bottom one, the one with the black circle is the bottom. The yellow checked is the head. And the ears are the ears, of course. Taking a pipe cleaner, I'm going to use hot glue and glue it to the black part of the round. Take glue off my finger. And then using hot glue again, we're going to glue the top to the bottom. Hot glue it to the top, on underneath and on top, and then I also stapled it so that it was extra secure. I did it on the wood round on the top, and I also stapled it that way as well. Wow, this is hard to explain. It's been a while since I've done a voiceover. Can you tell? And of course, one went through, so I took it out. And I just keep wrapping back and forth and using hot glue and wrapping back and forth and securing it the best I can so that it doesn't fall apart. With the ears, you're just going to place them onto the head wherever you like. and staple them down, and then I add some hot glue on top to make sure nothing pokes out and pokes through. Don't want anything to scratch the wall. Of course, I needed a hammer to make sure those staples went in. I found this pink ribbon I had in my stash for a while. We're just going to cut off 2 pieces. This one here, I folded it in half and glued it together. Then with the bigger piece, you're going to fold it into an awareness ribbon, scrunch it in the middle. Use the piece that you cut off that was extra, use that to wrap it around to give it a nice finished middle. And just with some hot glue securing it, dovetail the ends. Fix it, of course, and then I hot glue it right there in the middle. Give our little bunny a bow tie. I found these pink and yellow flowers in my stash. I believe the yellow ones are mums, and the pink ones are like, I don't remember, but they're pretty. And I just arrange them on top, hot gluing them down as I go. This here fuzz come in a big roll from our dollar store, and all I did was cut off a small piece and rolled it and hot glued it and rolled it and hot glued it onto itself around and around and around until it made a nice big ball. We're going to glue that onto the back side or the bottom on the side. Using some of the same pink ribbon for a hanger, we're going to hot glue it into place. Just like so. I also staple it down just to make sure that it stays, because hot glue doesn't always hold. And then I use some of that ribbon to hide all the mess back there, just to clean it up so it looks pretty. And when you're done that, this bunny is done. Yes, I know it's an Easter kind of thing, but it could be for spring too. I just wasn't done it in time for Easter, so I figured I'd add it into my video anyways, just to give you us all an idea, maybe for next year. Next video. This here I got thrifting, I believe, or I got it from my mom, I think. We're going to take it all apart, take all the backing off, the staples, sand it down, and give it a good wash. I'm going to paint the frame with Java, which is like a chocolatey brown. And then the inside, this here, the paper wouldn't come off, but it had a nice texture to it. We're going to paint that with sheepskin. First, I went over it just by brushing it on, and then because of the texture underneath, it kept coming through, so I thought let's work with it instead of trying to hide it. So I went over with just a brush, stippling it just to give it that texture. Using these poster board stickers, I'm going to, the best I can with my ruler so that it's somewhat straight, we're going to stick them down onto the board. And it's going to spell out cashier. Rub them down, and then with a pencil, I'm going to trace around every letter. And after I've traced around it, I'm going to lift the sticker off, which then will reveal my letter that I want to paint in. And of course, stick it back onto the backing so that we can use it. Just with a pencil and freehanding, I'm going to write in, please pay here. This here again is for work. It's hard to see where the cash is for people to pay, so I made a sign for it. With a black paint marker, we're going to outline all of the letters for cashier, and we're also going to fill in please pay here with the same black paint marker, and with some black paint we're going to paint in the word cashier. I like to outline it first because I just find it's easier to paint, almost like you stay in the lines better. I don't know, that's just my way. That's the way I like doing it. I find when it's not there, I tend to go beyond the lines, and I didn't want to do that. Now it's time to put everything together. I'm going to use some E6000. The majority of it is E6000 and some hot glue. I'm going to run it all around the inside of this frame. Take our backing and place it inside after you add in your hot glue for that fast hold. Make sure it's nice and secure. And then I took some more of the sheepskin paint, took most of it off of the brush. We're going to dry brush over top of the frame where it all has that pop-out design, and then I lightly go over top of the sign all together. And when you're done that, this project is done too. If you want, you can add a hanger, you can add a way for it to stand. This here is just leaning up against some other stuff at work, but here it is, and here it is at my work, just leaning up against some items at work to let people know where to go. Next project, we've got some tumbling tower blocks. First, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. However many tumbling tower blocks, you're going to glue them into threes, and then you're going to glue all those together to make a big square, and you're going to make 2 of them. These here come off of a couch, I believe. They were feet off of a couch or something. What I'm doing is taking the little dowel piece out, gave it a little bit of sanding. I'm going to add some hot glue into that little hole where the dowel screw was. Some wood glue around the outside, and we're going to stick those 2 pieces together. Just like so. And then using a paintbrush, I just wipe off any extra glue, and I use that little towel too, just to clean it up to make sure no glue is seeping through. These here little dice come with the tumbling tower blocks that I get. We're going to glue 2 together, and you're going to make 5 of them all together, and then you're going to glue these to one of the tumbling tower boards. One on each of the corner and one right in the middle. Next, flipping it over, you're going to, with a ruler, find the center of the board. And we're going to use wood glue and hot glue and glue this little piece that we put together right in the middle. And then you're going to do the same on the other side. Flip that over, do the 2 glues, and glue that together. Using some wood filler, which has dried up pretty badly, but it's still usable, we're going to fill in these tumbling tower blocks. Come with numbers on the end. So I'm going to fill all those in, and I also fill in the numbers on the little dice on the feet. Sand it off with a little bit of sandpaper until it's nice and smooth to the touch. You don't want any little bumpies. Using some home decor wood paint in the color walnut, I'm just going to paint it on. I'm not going to rub it off or anything like a stain. I just wanted to paint it on to give it a nice dark tone and let the stain soak in. And it turned out really nice. I really like the color. And I do the entire thing except for the middle post with that. Using some sheepskin, we're going to dry brush over top. Just very lightly. You don't want too much, just to give it a little bit of distressing. And when you're done that, you have a cute little tray. I've made one something similar like this before, but this one's a little bit bigger because I wanted another one. I really liked it. Next craft, and I believe it's the final one. Again, I got this at Dollarama. I'm going to take it all apart. I would use it, but I wanted to use it for something else. Taking my little scraper tool, I squished it in there and pried and squished and pried and squished until that heart just went pop and come off. That guy was on there good. They had him on good. But I got it off. I took some water because it left behind this little residue from the glue, soaked it, put a piece of paper towel on, and then soaked that, which then loosened up all that glue. And between scrapers and knives and sanders, I got the majority off. You can still see an outline, but all the bumps and everything are gone, which made me happy. We're going to paint the whole thing in black. Using the heart, I'm going to use just the side to give myself a little whoop across. And just freehand with a pencil, I'm going to draw on my words. You can use whatever you want, really. You can use a Cricut. If you don't want to freehand it on, you can print it off on computer paper and trace it on that way. I just decided to do it freehand because I was hoping it would look okay. Using a white paint marker, we're going to trace over all of our letters and words. Easy peasy. The only thing is, with the always fresh at the top, I use a yellow paint marker. I wanted a little bit of different color in there. Now, using this little terracotta pot, it was already painted this color. You don't have to. You can if you want. And some of that wood tint that I was using earlier in the last project. And a chippy brush, we're just going to go over it like this with all the lines and everything. Just wanted to distress it. I didn't want anything full covered, just like that. I took a little piece of wood that I had left over with some glue. I added it to the bottom because there's a little bit of a dip. And then here's me trying to figure out where the middle of this sign is again. Me and rulers don't work. Using some E6000 and some hot glue, we're going to glue one to the front, flip it over. Using the same combination of glue, we're going to glue one to the back. And this is what we're going to use to help glue it down on top of the pot. And again, we're going to use the same combination of glue. I use E6000 and some hot glue. And we're going to glue it right on top of that little pot, just like so. I found some Spanish moss, I think it is, in my stash, and some hot glue. We're going to glue the Spanish moss on top of the on top of the tumbling tower block all the way around on the front and the back. And then these here are paper roses, paper flower roses. I got these from the dollar store. I'm going to glue 2 on the front, 1 on the back. I just clip them right off to the end, so that way I can just hot glue them down. And then I found these little tiny blue purpley roses, I think they are, little flowers. We're going to add those into the middle. And when you're done adding your desired flowers, this is done too. I love it. I love how it come out. It's so pretty. I hope everybody enjoyed those videos. I know one of them was an Easter craft, but you know, it's a bunny. You can use it during spring too. Whatever, it's all good. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and don't forget to comment. I do try to post often, and it's been a little bit since I've posted because ever since I started a new job back last year, it's been quite a busy world for us here. Work, I tell you. If we didn't have to work, I would be home doing what I like to do most, is craft for you guys. I've missed everybody so much, and I hope everyone enjoyed all these new crafts that I made. I hope everybody has a wonderful day, and we'll see you again next time. Bye, everyone.